angels, it's Hailey Reese and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so grateful that you are here and I hope that you are having an absolutely fantastic morning, afternoon, or night, whatever it is for you when this video finally reaches you. Trust me, today's video is going to be a crazy one. But before we get into today's video, I wanted to take a moment just to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you who sent me love, positivity, healing energies, and just well wishes yesterday. It meant the absolute world to me. Yesterday, I was just feeling super unwell. By the time I had filmed that video in time to post it, my voice was slowly coming back because I had given myself that grace and that rest that I knew my body desperately needed. But yesterday was a rough day, and I just knew that I didn't want to miss it. So I thought a 5-minute video kind of explaining and making sure that you guys know another video will be coming in its place, which it still will be. I felt like that was necessary, and the response was just absolutely incredible and beautiful, and I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for being the absolute best family on the internet and for giving me grace yesterday in that video that I had posted. Now, I know that I had mentioned in yesterday's video that I was going to be posting my big case and that I had investigations that I had to go through, and all of those videos are coming. But as I'm sure you can tell, today I have done pretty much a total 360 from yesterday to today. I feel like by tomorrow morning, I will be 100% again. I can just feel my voice coming back. My energy levels are back. I'll explain a lot of what got done today and why things have been shifting. But I felt like today's video was so necessary because so many of you guys have been asking for an update on this, especially with one of the videos that I posted recently detailing that I wasn't protecting myself enough. But there have been crazy and shocking things coming forward where that is concerned, and that is where today's video comes into play. So with all of that being said, let's kind of backtrack for a moment here just to either recap for those of you who have heard the stories, but maybe just want a little bit of a recap on them, and for those of you who may not be familiar. My previous house that I moved out of very abruptly was haunted for the 3 years that I lived there. However, it was only near the end when we were really deciding that we needed to leave and things were shifting in the energy that it got dark and it got dangerous and actually deadly. I got a comment recently on one of my videos saying that I was being incredibly dramatic, especially in the fact that we fled so quickly. I ended up renting a storage unit to put some of my miscellaneous things that I didn't feel I had the time to properly go through into. They were saying I was being super dramatic, and in my mind I'm like, I only shared a smidgen of what happened. If I were to talk about how dark and dangerous things truly got, it sounds like something from a Hollywood production, truly. Like, I still look back on it and I cannot fathom or believe that that was my life. But none of us have felt comfortable really talking about those things. They're just things that we're grateful literally to have survived. I told you guys briefly that Tyler had an accident, something that we're not comfortable talking about, but it was awful. Anyways, my point in saying this is that I had my friend Lana. If you've been on my channel, you guys will be familiar with Lana. She is the Hawk and I on YouTube, and she is one of my dearest friends on the entire planet. But even beyond that, she is one of the most, if not the most gifted person I've ever met. She is an evidential medium. I just can't even put into words how gifted she is. And I'd had her come into my home prior to moving off camera and walk through the home, and she had identified a specific spirit. Now, you can go back and watch those videos. I'm not going to say it by the name that we gave him or even bother diving into him again. There's a whole video on that. But she had identified a spirit that was envious of Tyler and I's relationship. He had formed an attachment to me, she believes perhaps through a case that I had covered, and he basically was in the headspace of, if he couldn't have me, no one else could. And it was just getting very dangerous with what was happening to Tyler, what was happening to our relationship and my health, both physically and mentally. It was a whole thing. So Lana had cleansed the entire home. She would not let me move. Okay, not that she was gonna hold me down in chains, but she was like, I really, really cannot have you move until I cleanse every item that you're bringing into your new space. We need to leave this spirit behind. He cannot come with you. And ironically, I remember there was I'll do a whole other video on this with Lana. Lana and I are gonna sit down and talk about all of this, and I'm gonna bring up what I was about to say in that video, so stay tuned for that. But one of the things was when I was driving away for the final time from that home, I kid you guys not, behind me was dark clouds and darkness, and ahead of me was like the most beautiful sunset. And I was like, this is like so representative of like what is going on in my life and where I'm heading. So flash forward, we moved here, everything was great. I will admit, okay, because this is very important to the story, for a couple of months I left my things in storage. They weren't things that were necessities, so to speak. Some of the things were, but they weren't things that I needed on a daily basis. I made sure to move in all the things that we really needed when we had first moved into here, and those were just, again, things that I had to go through. So for a couple of months, the things sat in storage. And then finally, I kind of got sick of paying for the storage unit, and so we had went and we had brought all of those items into my second bedroom. So I have like this office, like den room, I have our main bedroom, and then we have a second bedroom as well. So we kind of like put all of the boxes into that bedroom, and I'm embarrassed to say it, but it was like packed to the brim of like these boxes. So I guess in a way I wasn't thinking that there may be stagnant energy there. So we had all of the items in there, and I started researching a ton of dark cases and crazy things, like not even just in the paranormal realm, but in like true crime realm. And as I mentioned in my video where I said that bad things started happening again here, I do want to reiterate, this place is not haunted. My unit here is not haunted. My building feels good. My unit feels good. The energy is good. But as I had mentioned in my previous video, when things started happening and things started going wrong and I started to feel all of these things happening, I had a dream and I felt as though it was astral projection. That video has also been posted recently. And in this dream, it just felt so real to me. And one thing that I had mentioned in that video to you guys was that when I saw this man in the dream, I felt as though I should know him, but I had no clue who he was. And I remember mentioning that in that video, being like, I just kept looking like, am I supposed to know this person? But this didn't click for me yet. And I posted that video and things were kind of going a little bit crazy. And then ring, ring, ring on my phone is Lana. I don't think anything of it because Lana, again, is one of my closest people to me here on planet Earth, and even spiritually and beyond. And so we call each other very often. So I'm like, hey Lana, like what's going on? And I can tell there's something a little bit off in her voice. And she's like, I need you to describe. She had watched my video and she goes, I need you to describe what that man looked like that you saw when you were astral projecting or having this dream. So I described him. And Lana goes silent, and I believe she said something along the lines of, that's what I was afraid of. And I said, what do you mean, Lana? And she said, it's the spirit from your last house. He's somehow like reattaching himself to you. You really, really, really need to cleanse your space and protect yourself and do all of these different cleansings and clearings and whatnot. And suddenly it made sense because we'd been smelling smoke again. However, I'm living in a condo building. We often have our windows open. So again, totally could be a neighbor, which is what we thought it was. But there were just little things that had been happening that made sense to what she was saying. And what was really weird was then it had clicked in my mind that when I had astral projected, as I presume, or had this dream, whatever we want to take it as, I realized I had felt like I should know this person, but like, where do I know them from? It was him. Now, I'm not going to get too far into this anymore because Lana has so kindly agreed, well, she actually suggested it would be really great for us to talk about it, to do a video with me on my channel about it, so definitely stay tuned for that. But this was when I realized, oh my goodness, there's so much stagnant energy because I brought all of these boxes back in. I've been cleansing my space to the best of my ability, still wasn't enough, and you guys should see how much I'm cleansing now, but I realized that things felt like there was kind of an old stagnant energy coming, and I felt like it was within those boxes. Now, if you know energetically, they say clutter is where darkness can hide, and there was clutter in that room as well. Now, another thing, when things started getting a little bit creepy here and weird again, I was really, really upset because Blue has this ball. She has loved this ball for years. It is hardly a ball anymore. And it was her absolute favorite thing on the planet. It was so special to all of us that no matter what, I was keeping that ball for the rest of my life as a sentimental thing. I'm very sentimental with things. And the ball went missing. And it's been missing ever since like we had brought these boxes back in. And I was devastated. Not even just for Blue, because she kept looking for it for literally like a couple of months, but also for me selfishly, because I wanted to keep it forever. It's like so special to us. So keep this in mind. So I had a really rough week last week, a couple of days. Things were off. Lana helped me. She actually energetically cleansed our space. She did a whole bunch of stuff for me. Thank you, Lana. And I started to feel much better. And then a couple of days ago, I was literally laying in bed and I was thinking like, I need to get that energy out. I need to get all the things that need to be donated, because I have a bunch of stuff for donation that have served their purpose in my life, need to be given away. I need to organize everything, get rid of all of the like garbage, because there are some receipts and stuff that I don't need. And I was thinking about how I needed to get everything clean, cleared, and then cleanse this place top to bottom to get rid of any like lingering energies. And that was when I woke up yesterday and suddenly I had no voice and I was extremely sick and my energy just felt super off. And I kept like feeling like I can't miss a video. Like it just felt as though energetically there was negative energy that was like, I can't even put it into words. I'm sure that some of you can understand what I'm trying to get at here, but I was like, no, I need to push myself. I need to get this video done, and then I need to cleanse, and I need to put my positive energy out and protect all the corners of every room within my condo, and just ask for my angels' protection and guidance and all of the things that I do. And then I woke up today, and I had a voice. And then all of a sudden within my mind, I'm like, that room needs to be done. So I go in that room, and as I'm purging and cleaning all of these things and getting everything out, my voice is coming back stronger and stronger and stronger. And I can just feel the energy shifting in here. And that's when I open a random box, you guys, a random box that had been in storage, that hadn't been opened. And I find Blue's ball. Coincidence? Perhaps. Regardless, I'm grateful. But I found that so strange. And as we're cleaning and as we're like putting out all of the things that like need to get out of here and saging as we go and just cleansing the energy in this space, again, I start to feel even better. My energy's coming back, my motivation's coming back, and my place just feels entirely different. But one thing I will say is, especially with my lungs, for some reason, after my lung surgery, you guys have seen on my channel, I can lose my voice very, very easily. If I'm sick, I'll lose my voice. If I'm stressed, I'll lose my voice. If I don't sleep, I'll lose my voice. But the problem is, it typically lasts for like days, if not a full week to a week and a half. So for me to have no voice for majority of yesterday, get it together enough to film that video, do what I needed to do to cleanse, and then wake up today and my voice is like 95%, crazy. There is so much power in positive energy, bubbling yourself, grounding yourself, protecting your space. It's wild. But that is basically my update. I am feeling, like I said, 95%. My energy is back. I know by tomorrow my voice will be back. I've got that big case coming. I've got investigations with Lana coming. I've got so much exciting stuff coming. So make sure that you guys are subscribed, that you have your post notifications on, and that you guys are ready for the rest of this month, because oh my gosh, I have saved the best for the second half of this month, and we've got some crazy, crazy videos coming. With that said, if you guys have any questions for Lana for this video that we're gonna film, any questions about the haunting at my house for her or me, any questions about what she saw there or what's been going on here, leave them down in the comment section below. I will filter through them and make sure to answer as best as we can in that video. I think it's going to be very insightful because you guys have yet to hear from Lana as to what she saw in my home, and it's darker than you could even imagine. So look forward to that one. Well, you guys, that is it for today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed this update. Every time I film these, I'm like, oh, are these even interesting? Like, do they care to hear about these things going on in my life? But then when I post them, I get so many comments saying like, I like these types of videos. Feels like I'm hanging out with a friend, which is all I could ask for. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness, and until tomorrow, I love you. Bye, guys.